Yeah, we'll jump straight in. I'm just going to try a different method of screen sharing today. What can you see there?
I can see us.
Pretty good set of notes. Yeah.
Can you see the keyboard at the bottom?
And a keyboard at the bottom.
And a keyboard at the bottom, yeah.
Can you see, is it all black around the edges?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, okay. All right, that's fine. Good. I thought if I sort of blacked out everything around it, it might be a little bit less distracting. Can you see all the all of our faces?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Well, you see a selection because there's not many of us, so they're all.
Yeah. Good. Good.
You
Okay.
have it down the side as a set, or just the one speaking, depending whichever you prefer.
Good. Good. Okay. Right. So, yeah, we're just going to go through. I've written out these chords for us to have a look at. I think this is, rather than going through the scores and finding chords, you know, that we're looking for, I think just writing them down like this, like Frank said, he found it helpful. Just doing it like this. I know it takes me 2 minutes to put this together, so okay. Let's go for the first one then. So, oh, by the way,
give me a second, I haven't got headphones working.
Okay, just to warn you, there is one chord in here that is not the standard bass fifth or bass tonic, but it's still a dominant seventh, because you're not always going to see chords with the fifth or the root in the bass. You know, or the fifth or the tonic, rather, in the bass. So you need to get used to recognizing chords based on what notes are in the chord, rather than recognizing it just from the bass note.
C, E, G, B flat, C7.
Oh, well done. Well, that was quick.
Oh, hey.
It is, yeah.
That was so fast.
This is. This is when you're trying to do your homework in the class. That's not even half an hour beforehand. Have you emailed these? Have you emailed this out to us, Danny?
No, I've just done this today.
Oh, that's all right. Then I don't feel so bad.
Yes, for the purpose of this class only. Okay, next one.
C.
C, C, G. C octave. It's a triad.
C triad, isn't it?
C, D, E, F, G. So it's a C triad.
C, yeah, just C major. Okay, next one.
Ooh.
What's that ready? G.
C flat. I can begin to read the ledger lines.
Same as the first one, C7.
Just different
Yeah,
spacing.
that's right.
Different spacing. Which note is the third in the chord?
E, E.
E. Good. Good.
G,
Okay.
B flat, yeah.
Next one.
Oh.
B. That's a B seventh.
No, no.
B, D.
B, D, G, F. No, that's wrong. That's right. C, D, B, D, F, G.
B, B, D, F, G.
Hang on. Something's wrong there. Or
So are the three bottom notes B, D, and F.
Or is it
Or
Is
am I
it
looking at it the wrong way
GB?
around?
D and then F on the top? It's
That's
not
more, yes. Is that a G7?
It is a G7. It's a particular type of chord. What is it? Do you know? The voicing of the chord is a particular voicing.
GBD. So the bass is on the 5th.
Oh,
We're on the 3rd. Leads on the flat and 7th.
No idea.
Remember me talking about a Chinese 7th?
I remember the name.
The Chinese 7th, where the tenor is on the root, the lead is on the 7th, or vice versa. Yeah, this close harmony here, it's the closest sort of 7th you can have in barbershop. Okay, well, it wouldn't be actually if it was that was on the root, it would be, you know, it wouldn't be a 7th. But bass on the 5th, baritone on the 3rd, lead or tenor on the 7th, and then the root on top of that. This close harmony here with this, we call that a Chinese 7th. The name Chinese 7th, don't really know why it's called a Chinese 7th, but there are some people that think it's because these two notes here are indicative of the first two notes of chopsticks. Yeah.
Something
that sounds like a good theory. Yeah.
Yeah. Or is that the chord, because the root is on the top, that the chord is upside down and China is on the other side of the world. So everything upside down in China. I have no idea.
We're going to have to look that one up.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody really knows why it's called a Chinese 7th, but that is a Chinese 7th. And it rings really, really well when you get it in tune. It's one of the ringiest dominant 7ths you can get in barbershop, this voicing. So, really important that the lead and the tenor are really in tune there. Well, it's important that all of them are in tune. But, that's something that you would work hard on in a rehearsal. Okay, what's the next one?
It's a C triad again.
Triad, yeah.
You figured that one out whilst I was talking, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Even I got that one.
Okay, next one.
It's 2 G's and a D and a B.
A, G,
BDG. BCD.
I
No,
think
it isn't.
EBD.
GBD, yeah.
That doesn't sound right. The D's wrong.
Sounds like this. From baritone to
G A B C D. Yeah, GBT.
GBD. That's it. Just that. Hang on a minute. Oh, I don't like. There it is. G triad. Next one.
F sharp.
Yeah.
F sharp. C D.
F sharp.
F sharp, C, D, A. Something. A, B, C. No. D. D has an F sharp in it, but C is not sharpened. D, 7th. D, F, G, A.
I'm totally confused. I keep writing it down again down here.
It's a D7.
D7 it is.
D7. It's D7 with the 3rd in the bass, not the 5th. So that would be D7 in first inversion. So the chord, as it would sound, it would be this. because remember here the treble clef is actually an octave below how it's riffed. So really, they should be an octave higher strictly. It would sound like that. Next one.
E, C sharp, G, A. A, B, C, D, E. A and a C sharp. What does A look like? A should have a C sharp. A something. G should be sharp. A7.
A7, yeah? Well done.
Yeah.
You've been practicing, haven't you, Mark?
Yeah.
It's
Way ahead of me.
no, it's actually beginning to stick,
Oh,
I think.
Chris, well, not with me.
it'll come. It'll come. It's just about knowing your triads.
And being able to look at the bass clef and say, that's a C, as opposed to, oh, on the
Yeah.
treble clef it's an A, that makes it A, B, C, that makes it a C. It's just the lack of practice looking at the bass clef is crazy. I just have to
It's
do it every
interesting
time.
because looking at the bass clef all the time, the treble clef is easier to kind of have in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to start singing bass from now on.
Bass is harder to read than treble. I don't know why, it just is. So this is an A7 chord.
Yep.
This is a particular type of A7 chord. It's a Chinese 7th again.
Mm.
So we've got the root on the top,
Okay.
on the second voice down, third, fifth. So it sounds like that. Or yeah.
Hey.
See how it's closest? It's the closest dominant 7th you can have. The closest voicing you can have for a dominant 7th. All other voicings of a dominant 7th are more spaced apart than this one. That one's pretty close, but it's not as close as that. And barbershop's all about the close harmony, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's the next one. Which is why it's so hard to tune, just intonation.
An F triad.
F triad.
Yep. Next.
C, F, and A. F, A, C. That's just an F triad.
Yep, same chord. Next.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
C,
one. Ah, that's why I've done the next one
C.
wrong.
E flat. Looking like another Chinese 7th from here.
Like a Chinese 7th.
G and A. G.
G, A, C, E flat. G, E flat. G7. No. G. No, that's not right. C, E flat, G. E flat, F, G.
Oh, God.
Please just realise it's not a dominant 7th and it's not it's not a triad. Something else.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Pick out the notes there that you know would be part of a chord that you're familiar with. And then the one that is not part of that chord is the defining chord.
Oh, God.
A, B, C.
Sorry, defining note rather than defining chord.
G. A, C, E flat. What's that like?
C, C, E flat.
Is it something minor?
Is it C minor seventh or something?
In this case, no, but it could be interpreted as a minor chord. But in this case, no, it's not a minor chord.
A, B, C, D, A, C, E flat, G.
Was it A flat, G, do, do, B, C.
C, E.
Nah, give up.
No?
Can't see anything there.
Or you give you a clue from the sound.
Put us out of our misery.
Okay, that's what,
C.
right.
Is it what?
That's what the chord looks like, but it's actually a rootless dominant ninth. Okay. The notes that we know are part of a dominant seventh chord are C, E flat, and A. They are notes that belong to an F7. Okay, but the F has been replaced by the ninth, the G. There. The lead is on the ninth. Okay, so if all other notes in the chord, apart from the lead, seem to fit into a chord that you might know, so you might have been going, oh, C, E flat, A, or that. I know those notes fit into some kind of chord. I'm familiar with those, but the G is throwing me off. That's probably because the lead is on the ninth. It's on a note that we call a non-chord diatonic note. Okay.
Come back, Dave.
The non-chord diatonic note is a note that is part of the key but not part of the chord. Okay, so if we take, for instance, an F7 chord, F, A, C, E flat, all those notes are part of are notes that make up an F7 chord. But if we add a G in, one of them is not.
It's one above the tonic that isn't there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
Obvious when you tell him.
And
Oh,
the root
yeah.
is missing, and it's been replaced with the ninth of the scale that the chord is attached to, of the scale that the chord is the tonic of. So in this case, you know, F is the tonic of the key of F, that scale. There's our seventh chord. There's our ninth. There it is in another inversion. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Remember, usually the fifth is in the bass. Yeah. The reason that the fifth is the root is usually dropped is because there will be no fifth, and it sounds. If you listen to it, it sounds quite empty. It's a bit more full there. Also, the clash between this here in traditional barbershop. This is a no-no, really. It's too clashy. That's usually what you get. Sometimes you get this. Okay, but as you can see, as we go up the inversions, there. Rootless dominant ninth. So you're looking for notes of a chord that you're familiar with that make up a dominant seventh and a ninth in the lead. If the lead note is a bit iffy, you're not sure about it, it's probably going to be something like a ninth or some sort of non-chord diatonic. If there's a non-chord diatonic note there, remember diatonic means belonging to the key, but not part of the chord. Okay, next one.
I'm going to say that's a C9 then.
Well done, it is. It's a C9. Now, a couple of rules about naming of chords. So here we would say that is an F9, okay? But here we would say this is a C add 9, because when you say F9, you're implying the existence or the presence of the 7th in the chord. So F9 implies the presence of the 7th. C add 9 tells you there's no 7th. It's just a straight C triad with a 9th. Like that. Yeah. So you've got your C, your root, your 3rd, your 5th, and your 9th. Yeah, which is one of my favorite chords. This chord hardly ever see in like polecats and stuff like that, but these days it's more widely accepted. It's a gorgeous chord. My favorite one is B flat 9. B flat add 9 rather.
So what was that one again we were just looking at? C9.
C add 9.
C add 9.
Hear a lot of these. I don't know if you've ever seen any Disney movies or any heard of like Alan Menken, the composer who wrote loads of stuff for Disney. The golden era, well, the golden era. You see, like, you know, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and all those sorts of films. He uses loads of these chords. Ninths. Those. Okay. What's the next one?
B flat. Oh, gold. D.
B, E, B flat, E. B flat, E flat. G. B flat, E flat.
E flat. No. It's E flat 7th. I've lost. Which one are we looking at again? Second one from the end.
This one, yeah.
E flat. You've got G. You got a B flat.
E flat.
And you've got a D flat. So is that not an E flat 7?
It is an E flat 7, yeah.
It's an E flat 7.
Yeah. E flat 7. Yeah. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Next one.
No, let me draw 5 lines again.
You're gonna get yourself some manuscript paper.
Well, it's too small for my old eyes. The notes are too close together. I need to draw some fatter.
I'll make some for you and send it over.
Oh, it's all right. I'll be able to do that. It's just getting prepared in advance. A, C sharp, G. That's an A. A 7th.
A7, yeah, good. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. You've got the 7th there between the bass and the baritone. Be a hard chord to tune, that one. Also tritone between the baritone and the lead. Sorry, I meant to say the minor 7th is between the bass and the lead, and then you've got the baritone up here. Very hard chord to tune. This one.
C sharp again.
E. A. That's just an A. Triad.
G, A. Yes.
sharp. D.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
It's like pretty. That's the most standard sort of chord you can get. Next one.
Oh, Struth.
No, no.
E, E,
A flat.
E,
G flat. No such note.
F, A, C, E, F, G, G flat,
Flat.
A flat,
A flat for two there.
A flat, C. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. Yes, it does. A flat, C.
A flat, C, E flat. That sounds good. Yes. And then what have we missed out? A G.
G flat.
That's beginning to sound like an A flat 7th.
Yeah.
Or in that key if you want.
Righty. Anything else?
A, E flat, C. Yeah, I think A flat 7th.
Yeah, that's the right chord. Anything else you notice about the voicing?
A flat, C.
It's the bass.
Basses are in the 5th, barriers in the 3rd. Lead on the 7th. Flat and 7th.
And then, so we call it a,
Chinese?
yeah, yep, Chinese 7. Next.
What's that? D flat.
D flat. D flat.
A flat. That's D flat.
Triad.
Just a D flat triad.
It is. Well done.
D, E, A flat.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. D flat is not an easy key to work in. Okay.
Hang on.
Two B flats on a D. That's a B flat triad.
Yep, that's it.
B flat triad.
B flat, yeah. B flat triad. Notice anything particular about this voicing?
That's all pretty traditional stuff, isn't it? Bass on the tonic, lead on the tonic, barry on the 5th, tenor on the 3rd.
What would we call that? What do we call that usually?
Oh, the barbershop chord.
That's a smart answer. It's the tune-up chord.
All right, the tune-up chord. Okay,
Tune-up chord.
that's what I meant.
It's called the tune-up chord because each note is spaced out so you can tune to overtones. So the overtones reinforce each other here. So the bass and the lead tune to each other because the first overtone is the octave. And you've got this one here that will create more overtones. Yeah.
What, even in the Clippers?
Yeah.
So, just checking again. Was that a B flat triad?
It was a B flat triad.
Okay.
It's the best voicing for reinforcing overtones. Okay, so when the bass and when the bass sings as B flat, you should hear this note coming out even with no one singing. So the lead's job is to hear that and sing that exact note. And because it's a naturally occurring octave, you'll it's justly tuned. So if you tune that one, then tune that one, then that one, and then that one. Okay, next one.
Is it a bit odd?
It's not odd. It's just something we haven't really looked at in depth yet.
It's a triad. It's a triad, but something's missing.
It's a triad, yeah.
So we've got D, F, natural, A, and D. Well, it's a minor. That would be a minor, wouldn't it? It was
It's a minor chord, yeah.
D, F,
D,
natural.
It's a minor chord.
Because it should be D, F sharp.
For it to be a major chord, it would be.
Yep.
This is a minor chord.
So is that B minor?
D minor.
Oh, right.
D minor, which is chord 2 of C major. There it is. Now, minor chords in barbershop are a little bit of a funny one because barbershoppers tend to avoid singing minor chords because the minor third is not a naturally occurring overtone. Well, it is eventually as you go higher up in the series, in the harmonic series, it does occur at some point. But in the space of audible tones that we hear without really having to think about it, the minor third is not naturally occurring. Therefore, it's very, very difficult to tune, and it's quite I've forgotten the word, dissonant. So barbershoppers don't very often sing minor chords, although they do sing them, just not
Intentionally.
yeah, just not as often as major chords and dominant seventh. Yeah, so that's D minor. Minor harmony is something we're going to be looking into a little bit more soon. What about the next one?
A, and E. There's only 2 notes.
Yeah.
A, E.
A, E, A. No.
Top one is something else. It's a
Oh,
C.
sorry, A, B,
C.
C. Yeah, that's a C.
C. Yeah.
A, C, E. That could be an A minor.
That's it. It's a widely spaced one. Very widely spaced. Okay. A, C, E. A minor. There we are. Nice. That was a nice little workout for you, wasn't it?
Ooh. Oh, my brain hurts.
Not as much as mine.
Getting a lot
Yeah.
faster. So I'm gonna have to start. Do you feel like that pushed you enough?
It's beginning to consolidate, but it's only
Yes,
by
I think so.
practicing. And I think I need to finish off the last worksheet because there's still a load on there that I haven't done. It would be helpful maybe if you could email that one. If I got 10 minutes, I could go through it again and just
Yeah, sure.
go through the answers you've given us
I will do that.
tonight.
I will do that.
You know, it is just practice till you